The night was quiet in our small suburban home in Austin, Texas. I had gone to bed after a long day of working late hours, preparing dinner, and helping my youngest daughter with her homework. My name is Sarah Thompson, and as a single mother of two, I've learned that life rarely offers a moment's rest. My son, Jacob, is 16, and my daughter, Emily, is 9. Between their needs, my job at the local accounting firm, and the endless stream of bills, I'm often too exhausted to even dream. That night, I remember pulling the blanket tighter, trying to slip into that half sleep where the world fades away. Then I felt a gentle hand on my arm. At first, I thought it was my imagination, but then I heard Jacob's voice. "Mom," he whispered, his tone nervous but urgent. I stirred awake and opened my eyes. "Jacob, what's wrong? Are you okay?" His face was pale, and in the dim glow of the hallway lamp spilling through my bedroom door, I could see his unease. He hesitated before speaking. "Can we talk? I know it's late, but I really need you right now." Normally, I might have asked him to wait until morning, but something in his expression made me sit up immediately. As a parent, you develop a sixth sense for your children, and mine was screaming that this was serious. I nodded. "Yes, honey, come in, sit down." Jacob sat at the edge of my bed, his shoulders tense. I rubbed the sleep from my eyes, bracing myself for whatever he was about to say. "Mom," he began softly, "I need to tell you something, but I'm scared. I don't want you to be disappointed in me." My heart tightened. "Jacob, there's nothing you could say that would make me stop loving you. You know that, right?" He gave a weak smile. "Yeah, I know, but this is different." I waited patiently, giving him the space he needed. After a long pause, he finally confessed, "I've been having a really hard time at school. Not just with classes, but with everything. The other kids, the pressure, and just me. I feel like I'm failing all the time." The words poured out of him like a dam breaking. He told me how he'd been struggling silently for months. His grades had slipped, his friendships had frayed, and he felt an overwhelming sense of isolation. He admitted to lying awake most nights, staring at the ceiling, wondering if he was enough. Tears welled in his eyes as he confessed that he'd kept it all inside because he didn't want to burden me. Hearing my son, my sweet boy, lay bare his heart like that broke something in me. I had been so consumed with work, so focused on providing that I hadn't noticed the storm brewing inside him. I reached out and took his hand. "Jacob, thank you for trusting me enough to wake me up tonight. I know it wasn't easy, but you don't ever have to go through this alone. I'm your mom. I'm here no matter what time it is." His tears spilled over, and in that moment, he wasn't a 16-year-old trying to act tough. He was my little boy again, the one who used to run to me after scraping his knee on the playground. I pulled him into a hug, and he clung to me tightly. "Mom, I just feel like I'm not good enough, like I'll never live up to anything." Those words cut deep, and I realized he'd been drowning in expectations he thought he couldn't meet. I whispered back, "Jacob, you are more than enough. You're smart, kind, and brave. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be you. And I'll stand by you through every mistake, every struggle, every moment. That's what family is." He nodded into my shoulder, and we stayed like that for a long time. The next morning, I called Caleb's school and arranged to meet with his counselor. I wanted him to have more than just my support. Professional resources to navigate the pressures of high school. Caleb was hesitant, worried it'd make him seem weak, but I reminded him asking for help is strength, not weakness. Over the weeks with the counselor's guidance, he began opening up more. His grades improved, not because the work got easier, but because he wasn't carrying it all alone. He joined a school support group for teens feeling overwhelmed, and slowly he found friends who understood him. At home, I made changes too. I carved out one evening a week for family time. No talk of school, work, or stress. We'd cook dinner together, play board games, or watch silly movies, with Sophie's laughter filling the gaps in our hearts.
Those nights became sacred, a reminder that our home was a haven of love and acceptance, no matter how chaotic life got. I also started checking in with Caleb more deliberately, asking open-ended questions over breakfast or while driving him to practice. Sophie, too, began sharing her own small worries, and I realized how much both my kids needed me to slow down and truly see them. Months later, on a crisp spring evening, Caleb came home from school with a spark in his eyes I hadn't seen in ages. He held a small wooden box, intricately carved with stars, something he'd made in shop class. "Caleb," he said, sitting me down at the kitchen table, "I made this for you." He opened the box, revealing a stack of folded notes inside. "I've been writing these for a while," he explained, his voice steady but emotional. "They're things I'm grateful for, things I was too scared to say out loud that night we talked." I unfolded the first note, my hands trembling. "Thank you for listening when I thought no one would. You made me feel like I could keep going." Another read, "You're the strongest person I know, Mom. I want to make you proud." Tears streamed down my face as I read each one, Sophie leaning over my shoulder, her eyes wide. Caleb's voice broke as he said, "That night you said yes to me, Mom. It changed everything. I was sinking, but you pulled me out. I want you to keep this box to remind you that you're enough too." In that moment, the weight of my own doubts, as a mother, as a woman, lifted. I pulled Caleb and Sophie into a hug, the three of us crying and laughing, our little kitchen glowing with the warmth of the setting sun. But the impact of that night didn't stop with us. Inspired by Caleb's courage, I shared our story with his school counselor, who suggested we start a parent-teen workshop to help other families talk openly about mental health. I hesitated, I was no expert, but Caleb encouraged me. "You listened, Mom. That's what matters." Together, we launched Open Hearts, a monthly workshop at the community center, where parents and teens could share their struggles in a safe space. Sophie helped design flyers, her colorful doodles brightening the room. The first session drew a small crowd, but by the third, the room was packed. Families from across Austin, some tearful, others hopeful, all seeking connection. Caleb spoke at one meeting, sharing how opening up to me saved him, his voice steady as parents and kids listened, some nodding through tears. A local newspaper covered the story, calling it the Brooks family's beacon, and soon schools and churches across Texas reached out, wanting to replicate our model. We received letters from families who'd found courage to talk because of us, including one from a father who said our workshop helped him reconnect with his daughter after years of silence. The wooden box became a centerpiece at our workshops, a place for attendees to leave anonymous notes of gratitude or hope. It sat on our kitchen table too, filling with new notes from Caleb and Sophie, small reminders of our bond. One evening, as we hosted a workshop, I watched Caleb guide a shy teen to share, Sophie passing out cookies she'd baked. A local artist, moved by our story, painted a mural on the community center wall, a circle of hands holding stars, symbolizing hope born from connection. A nearby high school started a Brooks Club for peer support, and a regional mental health organization invited us to speak at their conference, spreading our message further. As we sat on our porch one night, the sky streaked with gold, Caleb turned to me with that genuine smile I'd missed for so long. "Mom, thank you for saying yes that night. I don't know where I'd be without you." I hugged him, tears in my eyes. "Sweetheart, I'll always say yes to you and Sophie. Always." That night hadn't just changed Caleb, it had transformed me, reminding me that the most powerful thing a parent can do is stop, listen, and love. Our little act of courage had sparked a movement, lighting a path for families everywhere to find their way back to each other.